All right, Kelsey, it's the top of the hour. You can turn on your webcam. There you go. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that you are here. My name is Gene Marks. I am joined by Kelsey Petersen. This is a webinar that we're going to dig into a little bit of what Microsoft Copilot is doing with Dynamics CRM for sales. So I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I want to make sure that we lay sort of the rules out as to what we're going to be talking about and what you can discuss, okay? So first of all, at the Marks Group, we are Dynamics CRM experts, and we implement Dynamics CRM. We sell 4 CRMs. Dynamics is one of them. We have something like 75 clients that we serve using Dynamics, and Copilot is going to be a big part of the services that we perform because Microsoft is rolling out a lot of new features around artificial intelligence and Copilot. And so my recommendation to you guys is that yes, it's early days. And for goodness sake, whoever buys anything that Microsoft makes in version 1.0. So when our experience with Copilot has been underwhelming so far. In fact, I wrote a piece about this in Forbes a couple of months ago. This poor guy was trying to get Microsoft Copilot to work with an Excel spreadsheet and having all sorts of problems and all that. So I mean, just so you guys know, I mean, AI is absolutely going to have an enormous impact on all of our lives, both personally and professionally. But everybody's got to calm down and be a little bit more patient. It's very early days for it. Having said that, Copilot is being rolled out. It is available for Office. So some of the things that you'll see today are sort of Office related, but then it's also available for Dynamics CRM. And my advice to you is you need to lean into it. At the very least, you need to make sure you get a couple licenses. You should get a couple people in your office trained on it, and we can help you with that. And well versed in what Copilot is. You need to position yourself so that you're ready for ultimately Copilot to continue to expand its features and become more and more of a prominent part of Dynamics CRM because it's going to be. So 2 years from now, you don't want to be playing catch-up ball. My smartest clients, I want to stay ahead of their competition. I want to operate their businesses profitably. I want to get the most productivity from their teams. They're jumping in. They're starting to learn this stuff, and they're getting well versed with Copilot because it is going to be an automation thing. So that's what we're going to show you. Kelsey is she set up this demo, went through all sorts of pains. I think 2 bottles of Jack Daniels. Uh, Lots of banging her head on her desk, but she's got it working. And she's going to walk you guys through some of the things that Copilot is doing, some of the major things, some of the significant things that Copilot is doing right now with Dynamics. My goal after this, when we are done, is that it will whet your appetite. You will have an interest in getting Copilot set up, and maybe we can help you do that, as well as make other recommendations as well. So that's what the plan is here. The other thing is this won't be the last webinar that we do. We are going to have a series of webinars on not only Dynamics and Copilot, just Copilot and Office as well, because it's all one same in the other. So those are all things that you can expect to see from us in the future. My mission is to get all of our clients really up to speed on AI and what this stuff does. And talking about is one thing, implementing it and using it is another thing. So if you have any questions during the course of this presentation, feel free to ask in the questions panel. I will be watching that. And what we'll do is, I'm going to just in a second turn this over to Kelsey and have Kelsey take control and walk you through everything. I'll chime in a little bit, but don't worry about asking questions. Post them if you have. Also, you can see our email addresses on your screen, so make a note of that. If you want to just email either one of us directly with any questions, by all means, we love that. I can promise you I will be emailing you after this webinar is over to see that if you got anything out of it, and also to see if you'd like us to reach out and maybe take a peek at what you're doing with Dynamics and maybe offer some recommendations. So, okay, so here we go. So Kelsey, I keep calling you Chelsea. I don't know why, Kelsey. You're Kelsey. I know it's just silly. What I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to make you the presenter. So everybody hang out for a second while we do this. And I will say yes. And there you go. And I'm going to turn off my video. And Kelsey, I guess you should do the same thing so we can have a big screen of your of Dynamics. And all right, everybody, welcome. Okay. Say welcome to Kelsey Petersen.
All right. So I hope everyone can see my screen now. Holler if you can't. just to piggyback on what Jean has already kind of said, I want to make sure we're all on the same page that today we're talking about Copilot within Dynamics 365 for sales. Think of it as your AI assistant that you can interact with within Dynamics. Now, that's not to be confused with other Copilots that Microsoft has. You might have seen them popping up in various applications, like Jean was saying, in Excel or Word. So today we're focusing on Dynamics 365. We're going to cover the core functionality that Microsoft is featuring right now. That includes record summarization, email assistance, information assistance, and I'll show you some of the prompts, the out-of-the-box prompts that I've been working with as I prepared for the demo. And like Jean said, just keep in mind that this is early days, so it will get better. It will definitely improve as you go. So let's get started. When you log in, you've probably seen Copilot here and there in the sidebar, which we'll get to, but there's a preview feature available that uses Copilot as its own standalone page. So you can interact with it here if you want to, and it's just in your navigation. It's really easy to get to. They have these prompts that you can kind of get started with, which I found really helpful in like understanding how to use Copilot, because it's not just gonna like know magically what you're talking about. You do have to kind of understand what to write and how to write your prompts. So if you have Copilot enabled, I would definitely suggest checking those prompts out and using them as a way to get started. So for instance, we can check out, get latest news for our accounts, and it will pull back any web information on your existing clients. Now, I have mostly sample data in here, so it's not super interesting, but if you had anybody in the news, I think that could be helpful to engage with your clients on. Another one is Show My Pipeline, which just gives you your open deals, and it does have a graphic here, a chart. There we go. And which I think is really nice. It's just a chart to show you what's going on. It's kind of interactive. You can switch between this little scatter plot and a sales funnel, which is cool. From here, you can see this summarize button. So when you click on that, it will summarize your opportunity. And the fields that it's pulling from are customizable. So you can configure the information that it presents. And that part is pretty easy. So anybody could do that. You could use custom fields, which is obviously very helpful because most people will have custom fields on their deal records. And then from here, you can copy, the straight text, or you can copy it to an email, which will open up an email form within Dynamics. And then you see it's, nice and neat. You could send it to someone on your team or whoever. Let's go back. And then from here, we can click on this opportunity straight from here, and it will take me to that record. And here you'll see Copilot pop open on the right-hand side once the record loads. I think my screen is a little slow just with sharing. There we go.
We're used to it being slow. Don't worry. This is dynamic.
I feel like I got to tap dance a little while it's coming up. So you'll see that Copilot comes with you. So this is the same, chat window that we were already working in. All of the information comes through here now. The other summary type feature I wanted to show you is this highlights section. So this takes information specifically from your activities and summarizes them. So your phone calls, your emails, any notes, whereas the summary I just showed you is based on specific fields. So both I could see having, their place and being useful. And you do have to pay attention to some of the accuracy, especially in the early days. I know that this is actually incorrect, but they do have this little disclaimer, so keep an eye on that. Let's see, next, I like how they always have these like prompts for you, so it kind of helps you get going with Copilot. What I wanted to check out next was our like any changes that have happened with this opportunity. I think that's under, let's see. Yeah, what's changed for opportunity. When you click on that, it will just show you a quick view of the fields and values that have changed. And that pulls from your audit history. So if you have auditing turned on, it will pull from that and kind of summarize it for you. Once that's done, oh, I do want to mention also that a lot of the features that we're talking about today are focused on accounts, leads, and opportunities. Other records are peripherally involved, but those are the core three that Microsoft has focused on so far. I'm sure that they're going to expand that to include, other out-of-the-box entities as well as custom entities. And I see that this is taking a while. Usually this goes much faster. Maybe I'll pause it.
I'd love to try it again. I'd love to see that work.
Yeah, it dedefinitely will, or it has. I haven't had any issues with this one. There's other ones that have been a little
Here we go.
finicky.
There we go.
So here we go. So it'll summarize everything that's changed in the last 7 days. And so say you're a manager, you could quickly see what's going on at a high level right there at your fingertips.
Can I ask you a question, Kelsey? And by the way, I'm throwing out questions too. If you don't know the answer, just say I don't know the answer, because I know that, But so this is what's just changed in the last 7 days. What if you wanted to be like, what's changed in the past month? Is that a question you can also ask that, right?
Yeah, they do. Well, let me see. I don't know that I've tried that one.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious how good it is doing that.
I have tried that with other prompts. Changing the time frame. I don't know if this one is already like preset. Yeah. So
see, there we go. See, and that is what we all have to be aware of. I mean, it's a perfect example of where Copilot is in reality versus hype. So if we use one of the predetermined prompts that they're giving us, it works. But the whole point of this is that we're supposed to have a conversation with our database. And I don't think it's an unreasonable question to be, say like, I need to know what's changed in the past 2 weeks. And you can see the results that you get. That's going to change, obviously. I mean, Microsoft will get better, but just be aware you want to stick to the predefined prompts if you're going to be using Copilot for now. And then as it gets smarter and better, it'll become that much more conversational.
And I will say, when I first started preparing for the demo, it wasn't great at coming up with answers. And then as I started asking the same questions, it was getting better. So it was more consistent. So I do think it's learning. I've had that experience with ChatGPT too. So, just keep that in mind.
I'm also glad you mentioned that as well. I just have to also say, I mean, the whole concept of AI and these AI assistants is that they're working off of large language models and they need to be trained. So when ChatGPT was originally released back in 2022, actually, they only released it because it was trained on a large, on a model over a period of time. Our large language model is our CRM database, and every single CRM database is its own model, it's its own data. So it's just going to take a little bit of time for Copilot to get to know your data and get trained at it and understand users and the questions they're asking. And so again, that's another thing we have to get used to when dealing with an AI application, is that it's all based on AI getting smarter as it learns from the data that we're asking it to use.
Yes, exactly. So similar to that, what's changed for an opportunity in the last 20 days? There's one that is who haven't I contacted? Find it under here. There it is. Give me all the opportunities that I have not contacted in the last 20 days. This is one where you can change it to be whatever amount of days you want, and then it will summarize it for you. And it will take a little time. The other thing I like is that, right now we're on this opportunity, but we could ask it about a totally separate opportunity if we wanted to. So, what's changed for opportunity? And then when you hit a / it will open up your existing records where you can find the one that you want to ask about. Let's say all of this one. And then I can just do that right from here. I don't have to go to that opportunity. I can just do it right here and go along. So once that's done, the next thing I'm going to show is preparing for meetings, and this is the only feature I haven't gotten to work yet. So we'll see if it works for us today. I'm just going to pause this because we kind of know what it's going to come back with. So there's an option to prepare for your sales appointments. So this will look for any meetings that you have on the calendar regarding opportunities in the next 7 days, and will pull them up for you. So here I've got one on Monday at 2 o'clock, and then there's an option to prepare. So this is, like I said, the only thing that I haven't gotten to work at all. But it is supposed to pull from your recent emails and your recent notes in your activity timeline. So it should be summarizing what you've been talking about recently and suggesting things to discuss in your sales meeting. That's the intention behind that feature. Still working on it. Next,
Do you have any idea why that wouldn't work, Kelsey? I mean,
the only thing I can think of is that I don't have enough content in here. If it is a like a demo database, I've tried to put as much information in as I can. I have lots of emails and notes, so I haven't figured it out yet. And since it's so early on, there's not a lot of chatter on the web about it either. So, Googling isn't helpful. Yeah, so I was bummed about that one. So next I'll show you the information assistant. So if you have your Dynamics instance connected to SharePoint, you can search or look for files right from Copilot. And it does it in like a roll-up manner. So I have some files here related to this opportunity, but I have more at the account level. So let me go there. Yep, so I've got one there. And then when I go to the account, I have other files. So if I search at the account level, it's going to look at the account as well as any child records, any of those opportunities. So I feel like that's a more, comprehensive way to check this one out. And as you can see, it's going to pull a summary for our account as we visit this record. I'll let that finish. It will look similar to the opportunity summary, but it obviously pulls different fields, and those you can customize those as well. Well, see, I swear it works. I will try that again later, but let's do the SharePoint search. So my initial opportunity, I want to see if I can like cross-sell some coffee cups, maybe I'm a restaurant supply company. So let me see if I have any information on their coffee program. Show related files for coffee. So, and then this will bring up any files that you have stored in SharePoint. Now it is specific to Word docs, Excel, PDFs, things like that, but you can open them directly from here, check them out. You can copy them into an email, which is really just a link to where they live on SharePoint, but that could be helpful for internally for your team members. So I think that would be really useful. I don't know that it's like groundbreaking as far as AI goes, but I do think it's helpful in that you don't have to go to SharePoint now and do a search. You can just do it all right from within here and get your answers and move on.
And also you're making a natural language query, right? So
right.
You're asking it, it's understanding you and pulling up the data that you're asking for.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, so all right, let's go back to our main Copilot page. I'm just going to demo some of the prompts that I thought were a little more interesting, assuming that it cooperates with me. There we go. So, so you could look for list my open tasks for the day. This is one that's not necessarily a prompt, but it is one that I've written up. Very So again, it's really just about understanding how to word your questions so that you get the best results. And that's going to be really any AI product, not just Copilot. So I have 4 open tasks. I could see list all past due tasks. So that would be everybody in the system, not just mine, just to show you an example of what's available. There are 5 here. And then again, you can just click on them and work on them from there. And then let's see, some of the other ones were, let's see, average deal size and cycle time. These are things that historically we don't have available to us out of the box. So it would require some configuration or maybe some like exporting to Excel and doing some math. But right now we have it available to us with just a couple of clicks, which I think could be really useful. People ask for this all the time. You can also do things like which user has the most won deals, and it will be me. But so just to give you an example of some things you can ask it. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to cover is the email assistance. So I'm going to go back to my opportunity, and I know I have a recent email here from my potential client, and I want to follow up. So here it is. So when this opens, it's going to summarize the email on the right here. It will just look through the email thread and give you a summary here with all the bullet points. I'll let it work. Oh, I'll come back to it. Oh, man, this happened to me the other day. I'm going to keep going and see if I can get it to work. So here you can write or tell it what to write as a response. So I'm going to say reply, confirming I will follow up on Monday. And then it will look through your email thread and write sort of like a smart response containing, sometimes references to what you've already been talking about. I think this could be very helpful. Of course, it's not working. You might have seen this actually in Outlook already because this has popped up for me. And I wish it was working. I can try to get it working if we want to pause for a minute, Jean. It's up to you.
No, that's okay. You can carry on.
Okay. This is the last thing I was going to demo, actually. So.
Fair enough. So
Yeah.
this gets back to some of the things that we said earlier. The whole point is to show you guys what Copilot is supposed to be doing within Dynamics CRM. Obviously, it takes significant customizations and configurations to do all of that. And obviously, it's a it's a work in progress. It is a very, very early product. So Kelsey, I'm going to make myself the presenter now. Okay. So hold on for just 1 second. I'll take that away from you. There we go. Let me put my video on as well. So guys, just the point of this is to show you a product that has just been introduced this year, so you get some ideas of where we are. And Kelsey, if you can, just to summarize, the main things that Copilot is focusing on are opportunities, contacts, accounts, and leads. Correct?
Not contacts.
Is that correct? On just contacts. Sorry.
No. Accounts, leads, and opportunities.
Sorry, accounts, leads, and opportunities. That's fine. So it'll be summarizing what's going on within leads, within opportunities. And my takeaway when I look at Copilot is that we're querying it for questions and it's pulling out information for us, like as if it's almost like a reporting tool right now. That's how I look at it. We're asking it, information from our database in a natural language way, and it's coming back and it's giving us that information. It is not providing any analysis for us. It's not giving me any advice or any tactics or anything like that as of yet. But that is where we are in its, in its most earliest stages. So future developments with Copilot are going to be focusing on the marketing side and the sales side. And similar to what Salesforce is doing, Copilot is going to be, monitoring your employees in the future that are either in customer service or in sales and marketing, listening in and then giving some analysis and insights as to how they can be doing their jobs that much better, like mentioning products that they're selling or referring to other products or not saying so many ums or ahs during the course of their calls. In addition to that, Copilot is going to be used to create automatic landing pages. Copilot is also going to be used to launch and actually analyze ongoing email campaigns. And in addition, Copilot will be configured to provide automatic chat on your website. So there's still a lot of things that are promised that are coming over the next year or 2 years. But right now, if you're going to use Copilot in your, in your CRM system, you really want to employ it you want to figure it as a reporting tool. The sooner that you get it up and running and using, the sooner that it will get more trained and more knowledgeable and smarter about your database. And as it becomes smarter about your database, it will obviously provide you, better answers. I myself am extremely disappointed by the performance of this, and I'm also disappointed by the inconsistency of it as well. For example, I know for a fact that when Kelsey and I did a dry run of this exact system a week ago, we were running through these queries and they were providing results. And all of a sudden, it's a week later, same system, same queries. All of a sudden, it's not, it's not working. So, it makes me a little furious with Microsoft to release a product that is clearly not ready for prime time. But they're doing it to stay current with their competitors. And we have to make sure that we understand that this is the state that the product is in. Also, my other disappointment with Copilot is, as Kelsey said earlier in this presentation, sometimes the information isn't even correct. So whether or not it actually generates a result or not, you then have to make sure that the result that it's generating is an actual accurate and complete result. So that's another thing that we have to be careful of. So, again, the summary of this, it's a product that's just released. It's very early. You can see where they're focused on. You can see that the potential minefields that you're going to be hitting. We can help you get it set up and configured. And I do recommend, though, that you do it, at least so that you can start getting your database trained, because as lousy as it looks right now, and I mean lousy, it will improve over time. And as it improves, we can improve along with it and be able to use it as a tool. So as you guys know, I don't work for Microsoft. We're just a partner that implements their products. And I will always be honest and straightforward with you in what I'm seeing, so that we can make sure that you're using these products in the best way possible and not wasting your time. Kelsey, any final words?
No, I think that's good.
Good. Well, everybody, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate all of your time. This will be made as available separately if you want to watch it separately. So at least you know some of the directions to go. And I'll reach out to all of you guys and make sure that see if you want to spend an hour with Kelsey. She can not only give you some advice on configuring Copilot, but more importantly, we'd love to take a peek at what you're doing with Dynamics and make some recommendations using some of the features that actually work so that you can take advantage of them for your business. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Again, you know what I'll do is one more time, let me share my screen so you can take a look at our contact information. If you have any questions or if you would like to reach back out to us, there's our email addresses. Feel free to reach out to either Kelsey or myself. So guys, so thank you. Appreciate that. We will be back to you soon. Take care.